Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in right now. It's the Audrey Wiggins Show.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Audrey Wiggins Show. I'm Audrey Wiggins, your host. Before we get started, I just want to say congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James. You will always be our champs here in Cleveland, and I would be remiss if I didn't say congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. Okay, so we've got that out the way, so now on to our show. My guests today are Carl Ewing and DeAndra Smith of the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. And the gardens are growing in Cleveland, and they are having an event coming up celebrating Juneteenth. So stay tuned as the story unfolds. Harrell Insurance Group. Contact us today for auto, home, life, business, health, Medicare, long-term care. Harrell Insurance Group, 440-232-9041, or Janet at harrellinsurancegroup.com. So as we get started here, what are your roles at the Gardens, and give us more information, an overview of the Association of the African American Cultural Gardens.
I am the Assistant Director of Public Relations and Marketing Communications. I'm under Director Ernestine Baker Hall, who is the Director of Public Relations overall for the Gardens.
And I'm Carl Ewing, the current president of the association.
So I know you're having an event coming up. We want to learn more about that, and also we want to learn just what's happening over there at MLK, what's going on at the Gardens themselves. So whatever you want to start first with the event, or
Since we last met, we have completed phase one.
yes,
Which
awesome.
is a three-stage part, the past, the present, and the future pavilions.
Okay.
So we've got that completed, and we're eagerly trying to ascertain funds. I'll let DeAndra talk about some of the programs.
Okay. But before DeAndra comes on about the programs, what's that first phase of
The first phase is the doorway of no return.
Wow.
This is where the Africans were, after they were taken from their particular homes, they were brought in chains
Yes.
to the island. And this is a replication of how the dispatch took place. They were brought in shackles to the island, dispatched into various ships. Those proud Africans who
Yes.
left there as Africans, and when they boarded the ships, they then became slaves.
We cannot afford to forget that.
And that pavilion,
Thank you.
that first pavilion is also known as our past pavilion.
Okay.
And the structures that you'll see when you go to the Gardens, the structure itself, there are two structures there. One is made out of a very beautiful limestone.
Wow.
And the second one, which I believe the limestone represents the doorway out of Africa and into the New World. And then the second structure that you'll see is made out of a beautiful, I believe it's a black onyx. And that actually, if you look, you will see it actually looks like a ship because it is a replication in a way, symbolic,
Yes,
I should
yes,
say,
yes.
of
Good idea.
one of the slave ships. And I believe Amistad would be an idea of what, one of the main slave ships that was well known for bringing slaves over from Africa over here to America.
Yes. Yes.
And right at the beginning of that entrance too, there's a large blue fountain replica made. And that fountain represents the illusionary tranquility of the Atlantic Ocean, how the water flowed.
Wow. Doorway of no return. Wow. Let's lead on then to Juneteenth, because that kind of set the stage for it a little bit, and why we actually celebrate.
If I could jump forward.
Sure.
Okay, we're now in the midst of slavery. The war is being fought.
Okay.
And I don't think the North was doing too well. So what happened was that the president, I mean, his infinite wisdom, he was Abraham Lincoln at the time, decided to cause a little bit more havoc.
Just a little bit.
He signed what's called the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves from slavery. But
Okay.
there was a catch to that.
Uh-oh.
It was not widespread. This Emancipation Proclamation only applied to the southern states that were in direct conflict with the North.
Okay.
So slavery in the North still persisted. It was that in the South that was affected. And the unique thing about it was that when that emancipation was signed, the good news didn't get to everyone.
Wow.
the good news didn't.
No internet.
No internet. Word of mouth and the Pony Express and whatever means of transportation. So in the state of Texas, the slaves are busily about their jobs, going about their slave jobs. And they were notified by a captain in the union.
Okay.
Galveston, Texas was actually the place.
Wow.
When he rode up on his horse and saw the slaves toiling in the field, he looked and probably in amazement and said, well, wait a minute, what's going on? What are you guys still doing here? And they said, what do you mean? You know, I could just imagine they're saying, what do you mean? We're slaves. This is our thing.
Right,
You know,
right. This is our lot.
This is our lot in life. And he then replied, and I can imagine this as well. Didn't you hear the good news? Didn't you hear the good news? Could you imagine this white Union officer riding up on his horse and seeing the slaves out there toiling in the fields? And he mentioned to them that you were free. They're free? What do you mean free?
Free.
What is free? What is freedom? What is that? The president signed the Emancipation Proclamation. He's free.
Oh my goodness.
Now just imagine how that sounded.
Is this
To the
true?
white folks.
Real? They're probably
To the
I don't want to imagine what the white folks had saw
Right,
around.
that we're free.
Faces were like,
So could you imagine it throwing down their rakes, their whatever it was, and just hallelujah.
Yes.
And so what happened was that from that day forward, and this news was given to them in the month of June. So across the United States, there has become an annual event,
Okay.
and that event culminates around the 10th through the 19th of June, and it's celebrated nationwide, and it's a day that we commemorate the actual
Okay.
Emancipation Proclamation.
so Black America, it's your Independence Day.
All right. Well, let's celebrate and let's celebrate. So that leads us to the event. And when is the event then?
The event takes place on Saturday, June the 17th.
All right. All
The
right.
backdrop will be the doorway of no return.
Wow, that's going to be awesome.
Activities.
Everybody has got to come. But what time do the festivities
It
start?
starts at
12
12 p.m. and runs till 4
Mhm.
on the upper pavilion as well as the lower.
Okay, great, great. And what are some of the things that are going to be going on?
It is a family-friendly event. It is free admission. Bring your friends, bring your neighbors, and it is not just open to the African American community here. We welcome all races to come to the garden and to partake of all of the Juneteenth festivities and events. There's going to be storytelling, there's giveaways, there's a bounce house, there's face painting, there's
Okay.
live music, there's a significant amount of food. We have vendors that are going to
Food.
offer food. We have vendors that are offering beautiful jewelry, scarves, pretty much anything you want to buy will be there. We have some wonderful vendors that are going to be present with us. So it's a full day.
Awesome. So people may be wondering about when they come, where they park or.
Well, with any activity that takes place over at the Cleveland Cultural Gardens,
Mhm.
it becomes a rarity. So I would advise you to get there as early as possible and just park on any of the neighboring streets and just walk over. There'll be plenty of police there and around the whole activity, so you will certainly feel free and safe.
Yes.
I mean,
And the weather will be.
and the weather, I put in a special
It's
order.
wonderful. Yeah,
I
it's
put
gonna
in a
have to
special order. We will have perfect weather.
86 degrees.
But
It'll
let
be
me
fine.
tell you this: what happens, what culminates this whole thing will be the Grand March. The
Oh.
Grand March is when we get out, and this will be conducted by none other than Mr. Frank Ross, the Grand March.
Okay.
Tell them a little bit about Frank Ross.
And the Frank Ross, well, I'll let you tell them.
All right, Dan.
This will be my first time actually experiencing Mr. Ross.
All right.
But from what I understand, he has, in the past, he's been our grand marshal for several different events that we've hosted there.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on YouTube, you can see some of his work.
All right.
It's exciting. I mean, he really pumps the crowd up, and
Okay.
he's just
And he
perfect
takes his
at what he
work
does.
very
He
seriously.
does.
All right. All right. So this doesn't just stand there or ride in the float, and wave at the people who carry the flag.
He's great.
It's a participatory activity.
Okay. I love it. Okay. So what else?
Well, I want to take a quick moment before we get off of the Juneteenth celebration, and I want to thank our councilman, Kevin Conwell, and our county councilwoman, Yvonne Conwell, who have always supported the African American Cultural Gardens. And pretty much all of the events that we do, we've always had their love and their support, and just wanted to make sure that they know how much we really appreciate them.
That's
a
awesome.
special shout out.
It truly is.
I appreciate our community, leaders being involved in something like this and other activities, just the gardens in general. So I'm not, part of that board, but still, thank you.
Thank you both,
That's great.
Councilman Conwell. We do appreciate you. We really do.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else you can tell me what's going on with the gardens or the future activities, your programs? What's going on? Because it's more than just the park.
The African American Cultural Garden, we are growing in a lot of different directions, because really we are about our community overall. It's not just about culture and arts. We're interested in education, so we're broadening our horizons and expanding in that direction.
All right.
We're interested in the health and the wellness of the African American community. We're branching out into that as well. We have some technology programs that we're developing and putting together. We want to, especially STEM programs directed towards our young girls. We have a couple different partnerships that we are working on. And you guys will hear more about that in the future. What I want people to do is make sure that you stay up to date with what we do and where we're going by visiting our website, which is www.aacg.org. You'll get all the updates there as to different things that we are doing. But for the summer, now we do have an event coming up in August called Gatsby in the Garden. Just come out and fellowship with us. There'll be some light hors d'oeuvres. This is a fundraising event.
Okay.
You do have to buy tickets. You can visit the website. We'll have that information up on the
We need
website
to know that.
in a couple of weeks. You do have to buy tickets. It is a fundraising event. There will be light hors d'oeuvres, beverages. Most importantly, you get to sit and enjoy being in the ambiance of the 1920 decor. Enjoy some music from the 1920s era, the Great Speakeasy era. We also have One World Day Festival, which is probably one of my personal favorites. The One World Day Festival is hosted this year in the Cultural Gardens. At the entire vicinity of that area, all down through Martin Luther King Boulevard, is closed off to traffic. So you'll be able to come through the boulevard to visit all of the gardens.
Awesome.
Make sure that you stop by the African American Cultural Garden. That event takes place Sunday, August 27th this year.
This is a day of diversity when all the nationalities, the 29 current gardens, are ethnically unique.
Wow. Yes.
So there'll be a hodgepodge. We will have a great time as usual.
Everything.
They spend the whole day.
It is. It really is an all-day event.
We average probably between 20 and 25,000 people.
Wow, that's
here. So
amazing.
we would advise you to get there early
Yes.
and come with your walking shoes, because we'll be doing a lot of
And
walking.
some cameras. Definitely have your cell phones charged up, because I can imagine that's going to be historical walk, learning, specific
It is.
history walk, not
It is.
historical walk, history
But,
walk through all the gardens.
I want to, and I have to state this, that we're on a long journey to realize our final goal, and that's the completion of the garden. So we are a 501c3, and we're asking for all donations to help make this possible. Because again, this is your garden, and it can only be done if you take a part in it.
Absolutely.
And going along with that, we've got some very unexpected support. And when it rains, sometimes it rains just buckets.
for
It's
us.
just great.
In a good way.
If you go to our website, you'll see one of the latest endorsements by the eminent Reverend Otis Moss,
All right.
formerly of Olivet, who has agreed to come on board as one of our honorary co-chairmen, as well as Reverend Hilton Smith of Greater Abyssinia.
Okay.
We have Waiting in the Wings, several others that we're going to just surprise you down the road. We're going to wait, but again, we're going to be coming out with a lot of activities that are geared towards the gardens and getting the exposure and getting your garden done with your help.
Awesome. So when they go to the website, they can donate right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
On
there's
the
a donate
website.
tab right
Awesome.
there.
Right.
They're welcome. And don't just donate. Please join us.
Yes,
Become a
right,
member.
right. Membership,
We want you to become a member
yes.
of the African American
Yes.
Cultural Gardens. We welcome membership. We have some membership drives that we are also, going to do. And we're always really in receivership.
Absolutely. That's But it's this type of organization, absolutely,
It is.
always. Yeah, it's
It
going to
is.
give, not just when you have
Well,
special events.
But what we want to do is make sure we want to appeal to everyone. So not only are we offering the individual families and corporations, but we have now established a line for students. So any college student, so now can join for a legal $15. So we are trying to make this very amenable to everyone and to make sure that no one's locked out.
Nation. Well, it's been exciting to have both of you here today, Carl and DeAndra. Thank you so much for coming by and teaching us more about Juneteenth, so we can get a better understanding, about our history, where we come from, and the African American Cultural Gardens. It's the Association of the African American Cultural Gardens. It's real exciting. Look forward to the 17th and all the other events that are coming up. As I'm closing out, is there anything else or a special message you want to leave with our viewers?
Well, if I might just state, or just one final touch, our logo. The logo means an awful lot to me.
Okay.
It's the bird, it's a Kofa bird that we have on that we wear, and it's crest with the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. But it epitomizes the bird flying forward.
Okay.
Flying forward but looking backward.
Okay.
Grasping at the egg of knowledge. To know where you're going, you've got to know from where you came. So again, this is what we stress.
That's fantastic. That's a great note to end on. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Building a website? Spring has sprung. And so have the savings in Altogether Marketing. Save on website builder tools, WordPress, e-commerce, privacy, SSL, e-marketing, and much more. Save as much as 20% at altogetherdomains.com. Altogetherdomains.com.